Hi everybody, welcome to Stalking the Wild Auto Harp 2022. Really? Oh my gosh. I'm Hal Weeks. I've been on vacation for a week from Daigle Auto Harps and figured it's about time to make some videos. And I am playing the auto harp once again after having taken a couple of months off from it to heal up my shoulder. It feels a lot better. It's still not 100%, but I am playing again, obviously. And in order to start 2022, I thought that I might talk about all those issues that come up for people who have just started playing the auto harp, meaning all the side issues, not the technique itself, but the questions about gear, questions about picks and straps and cases and tuners and wrenches and why does my auto harp sound like that? And there's just so many. Oh my gosh. And in trying to organize my thoughts about this, they just became more and more disorganized, which seems to be, excuse me, a trend these days. So I figured I would go with that and just sit here and gab for a little bit about some of these issues. These are issues that I very frequently go into on the very first lesson when I have a new student. And I made a list because I can't keep it all in my brain, and you'll forgive me if my brain makes some circuitous routes and goes down some rabbit holes, bunny trails, what do you call them? Rabbit trails, while I talk about this. And I'm going to make some recommendations for things like picks, straps, etc., etc. And I will give all my caveats at those moments. This might be a long video, and I am sure that as soon as I turn the camera off, I'm going to think of things that I forgot to say. So I might be back with another video saying, I'm saying this to amend what I already did. But all the other stuff newbies need to know. Picks. What about picks? Okay. Well, my recommendation, if you are just getting started, if maybe your auto harp came with picks, if so, start with those. Often the picks that come with an auto harp are plastic ones. Let me tell you, they can be adjusted. You just use boiling water, dip them in the boiling water, you know, the part that wraps around your finger. Dip that part in the boiling water, hold it for about 5-10 seconds, pull it out and squeeze it together, or expand it. If you need to expand it, you can stick some needle nose pliers inside it and open them up. Hold it for a few seconds while it cools. Bingo. This is not necessarily where you're going to end up, but plastic picks are comfortable and they are easy to adjust. And so start there. You're going to go through a lot of picks, trying different picks over the years, and you don't have the discernment yet or the technique yet to know what's going to be good later on. And so the choices that I have made for myself are not necessarily the choices that you would make, given that you will come up with your own technique and the own things you like to do. Picks need to perform, they need to fit, they need to be comfortable, and you don't want to be afraid that they're going to slip or slide or come off while you're playing. There's all these issues, and so you're going to try a lot of them, and you're going to try them on, you're going to play with them, and then you're going to go, eh, and you're going to put them in a bowl, and then you're going to walk away from them. Okay, but then you know. Save those picks that you are no longer using because you'll want to come back to them a year down the road, 2 years down the road, and then you go, oh, I love these. I didn't like them at first, but now I do. So it's part of the fun is exploring these different pick things. After you do some plastic picks, and by the way, my go-to plastic pick is the Dunlop. It doesn't matter if you get it in white. It doesn't matter if you get it in clear or if you get it in tortoiseshell. They all sound the same. It's just a matter of how they look. I like white ones because they show up on film and through Zoom for my students. But that's where I start. After you've played with plastic picks for a while, go to metal picks. Get some Dunlop metal picks, or even better, get some Pro Pick split wraps. That's right, that's what they're called. They're called Pro Pick split wraps. Get the ones with a round point. Some lean to the left, some lean to the right, some are pointy, some are leave your finger exposed. Leave all those fancier things for later. Just get some rounded tipped straight Pro Pick split wraps because you can wrap the part that's closer to your fingernail or closer to your fingertip a little bit tighter or looser than the one that's down around your cuticle. And that might make a difference to you in the fit. Dunlops just have a single wrap, but they come in lots of thicknesses. That's another thing that you're going to have to experiment with and come up with your own favorite picks. And the list goes on and on and on. Okay, enough about picks. What about straps? Okay, straps. One of the most recommended straps these days is called the slider strap. It is a strap that goes around your shoulders like a harness or like a shoulder holster instead of going around your neck. That's highly recommended. It's a nice wide strap. It's got a triangle or a diamond-shaped piece of leather that goes in the middle of your back. However, it's a little bit funky the way it fits, especially on the right side, the way it comes under, and it seems like there's always sort of a loose part, and it takes a while to get all of that worked out so that it all fits your shoulders, hangs where you want it to hang. I'm going to make another recommendation. And this is where Stalking the Wild Autoharp started 5 years ago, 5+ years ago now, 5.5 years ago, was me showing off this strap. And I've kind of gone back to it. It's my old favorite. I used to perform with this all the time. It was a different incarnation of this strap. But this strap is my personal, it's my version of the slider strap. It also goes around your shoulders. You have to make it yourself, though, because nobody markets this one. But it can be less expensive than a slider, which is going to run you in the range of $35. You have to get a guitar strap to make this. And that's because you need these ends. It's a buckle, a leather or a plastic slide through buckle, and this leather assembly with a buttonhole on it. And you need the other one too. In this case, they don't match, but the strap slides through that. You have to buy a guitar strap, like an Ernie Ball guitar strap, that's going to cost you maybe $5. And then cut the seams on it and take these off, because you're not going to use the strap proper. Although you might, and here's why. This strap is a piece of nylon webbing. It's 2 inches wide, and it is as long as I am tall, in my case about 6 feet, 5'11", and a little bit longer than that. Okay, so I can't tell you how long your piece needs to be. This particular piece started its life as a slider, so it was an expensive piece. But you can go to the hardware store or order online and get about 6 feet of nylon webbing and burn the ends, maybe once you decide how long it's going to be. and then run them through your, you just make a loop out of it. And I safety pin the ends of mine. You might find a fancier buckle that works, that's actually adjustable. I have not, but whatever. That's up to you. Anyway, it's a loop. Can you see that? It's just a loop with the two strap ends on it. And you have to mess around with it to get the right length. Okay? In my case, it's about this long, because what you do is you hold the loop with one of the strap ends at either end, and then you make it cross in the middle. So now it's going like this, and you have two loops with a cross, or it's a figure 8 is what it is, a lemniscate. And don't get me started. Then put one arm through one loop, put the cross over your back, and put the other through the other loop. Now you've got this with the little buttonholes in each one of your armpits. And it's crossing in the center of my back. Want to see that? Maybe I can show you. Crossing in the center of my back. Like a slider strap, it holds all the weight across my shoulders. If your autoharp does not yet have strap buttons, they go here, and they go, I like mine here. Most people put theirs above this hump. But either way, they're easy to put on. You can do it yourself. The frame of an autoharp is beefy, maple. You can drill into it. You can make a pilot hole. Make it the right size. Don't make it too small, because it's going to be real tight putting a screw into a pilot hole that's too small. Make it just a hair smaller than the threads, and then use a lubricant when you put in the screw, like soft soap or wax, something to make it slip when you screw this in. It's easy. You can do this. And then you put the strap onto your buttons. Ta-da! You want it at a length so that it's not cutting off your circulation in your neck or infringing on your singing windpipe, etc., etc., so that it's a good height. Now, you can play with regular guitar straps, that Ernie Ball strap. You can use that. It's going to hang around your neck, though, and it's going to... Auto harps are not light, especially the newest ones. So, I also want to talk about an idea that was... The person who came up with this was Lucille Riley. Lucille is a dear friend of the auto harp community. She is an awesome teacher and player and innovator of things autoharpical. And this was her idea, and I'm going to share it with you now because I haven't seen it shared online. But Lucille, you get all the credit for coming up with this. Go check out her website, dulcimerlady.com, and look for the page called Ouch. She is phenomenal when it comes to figuring out posture-related repetitive motion strain for the autoharpist and the hammer dulcimerist. And this is her recommendation. She doesn't like the strap at all because it bears down on your shoulders, bears down on your neck, and it can infringe on your energy and your freedom as you play. And I like this a lot. This is something for sitting down, though. You can't do this standing up. It's a fanny pack. I'm going to stand up and show you mine. This is mine. And some people wear it on this side, some people wear it on this side. This fanny pack is filled, in my case, with shipping bubbles. Lucille recommends peanuts, but not shipping peanuts. She recommends real, actual goobers in the shell. Put them in a plastic bag, though. But it gives you enough ballast, and you can shift them around. You can take some of them out, because this is what shores up your autoharp about 4 inches. You need one that is about the height of a CD case. Do I have a CD case handy here? No, I don't. Anyway, 4 inches tall, but also its configuration is, this is the kind that is roughly half moon shaped. And this zipper that goes around the top is the slide prevention that keeps it from sliding, the autoharp from sliding off. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. Also, this pocket on the front, I put cardboard into it. In this case, I put in 2 pieces of cardboard. One has the corrugations going this way, and the other has the corrugations going this way. That makes it real stiff. And that goes in that front pocket. That front pocket becomes the lip of the device to keep the harp from sliding off. Then the strap goes around your middle. All of this has to be adjusted out to your specifications. And then the autoharp rests its corner right in the pocket. Now, if I have it on my left leg, it stands by itself. And obviously, if I lean forward, just like if it's sitting on my lap, it's going to fall over. But obviously, if I lean forward, I'm going to hold the harp, or I'm going to take the harp and I'm going to set it down. That's one of the great things about this arrangement, is that you can take the harp off and pick it up and set it down easily. On her website, she recommends having it on the left leg and sliding towards center. Can you see that? I'm looking. No, you can't see that. Okay, hold on. I'm going to back up here. Now you can see it. Okay. Left leg faking towards center. It puts this plane at 90 degrees to the floor. Again, these are all Lucille's recommendations. Go look at her Ouch page. So the fanny pack is a great idea to play around with too. Maybe you have one. They only cost about $5 to $10 if you find one. And I recommend use the internet for this, because you could go to a million different thrift shops and find fanny packs, and it's like, oh, but it's not that fanny pack. It's got to be this configuration so that you have the pocket on the front with the lid in the back. I will actually take a piece of rubber sheeting, like go in the cupboards for the dishes, and I will fold that on the top, or I'll even fold it through and put it through on the bottom so it doesn't slide around on my leg. As you can see, I've got a lot to say about all of these issues, and I'm only on the second one. So, straps, fanny pack, all of those things move the autoharp into a position for proper posture. What is proper posture? Well, the problem with putting the autoharp upright, and we're going to talk about that too, is if I don't use something to shore up the autoharp, like a strap or the fanny pack, I end up hunched around it. And this, my friends, is something that I could not feel when I was playing. And I did it for years. And it is possibly the source of my shoulder problems, hunching around the autoharp like this. When I lift the autoharp, up to a better position, which for me is 4 or 5 inches, I sit up. This is better for my singing. It's better for everything, including my shoulders and my all-over posture. So that's why you want to get the autoharp up. I'll show you from the front. Here's another thing about it. With the autoharp up, your arm and fingers have full range of motion into this corner of play. Unless you're playing in this key where it's blocked. And then there's other things that you need to do to get around that. But when you are playing the autoharp in the upright position, you want to have full range of motion into this corner, but you want to have a diagonal slant or pivot for from your elbow for your arm, so that it rocks down like this as much as possible when you play. So having the autoharp sit up on the fanny pack does that. If it's down here, now I'm playing up here, and my fingers crash into the tuning pins. And so in order to get down there, I have to turn my wrist, and I end up playing in this position, which is bad for lots of things carpal tunnel related. So get that autoharp up. Use a fanny pack. Use a strap. Get it up so that it is in a better position for you to play with. Okay, enough about straps and posture, although much more could be said about posture. I'm going to save it for another video. What about if I don't want to play the autoharp sitting up? What if I want it down flat? Again, that's a topic for another video. You may have seen me play autoharps recently with it down on my lap. I was playing in that way because of my shoulders. It is a fantastic option. Playing the autoharp upright is not correct historically. It is not traditional. However, it does have some advantages, but they are not necessarily the best advantages. Playing down flat brings in a whole nother list of advantages that I do not necessarily want to spend a half an hour talking about in this video. I will just say that it is a good option. You do end up, if you're a right-handed player, you're going to end up with your hands crossed, unless you choose to play in this position, meaning with the thumb on the treble strings. Some people play that way. It's not wrong, nor is it right. It's just neutral. There is no positively correct way to play the autoharp. However, the techniques you see me teach on this series involve the thumb on the bass strings, like this, or they can be played with the autoharp. I'm looking to see if you can see me. With the autoharp down like this, the thumb is on the bass strings, but notice that I'm playing crossed hands. Now, if you're a lefty, this becomes ideal because you've got your right hand on the buttons, you've got your left hand on the strings. It's fantastic. Basically, every right-handed autoharp is really a left-handed autoharp in regards to this. Lefties, you've got the advantage. I know, because I'm a lefty. But I can't play left-handed yet. Anyway, the autoharp was originally invented to be played down here on this end of the string bed. So your left hand would be on the buttons, your right hand would be down on the short end. But, and I will play this for you, you can hear the difference between this and this. And I should really be wearing metal picks to do this, but that is the classic old time sound of the auto harp when it was played in the traditional manner. So, playing down flat, go for it. There's other issues involved though. You got to get the angle right, you got to get the height right, and all of that, again, part of a different video, and I should make that video. What about those chords that come up all the time that I don't have, like B minor, like F sharp minor? Yes, the auto harp is called a lot of times to play in the key of D, and most auto harps do not come with B minor or F sharp minor chords, and that is why it is often recommended that you change 3 of your chords to make 3 others that you are going to get called on a lot. This is up to you. Those chords that are expendable, in my opinion, are the E flat, the A flat, and the C minor. Now, some people would say the B flat 7 instead of the E flat. That's fine. I happen to like the B flat 7 and I use it. But the E flat, no. And the A flat, definitely no. And the C minor is an awesome chord. It sounds great, but it could be sacrificed for an E chord. So there's a different arrangement of the buttons, the Brian Bowers layout. This video is getting very long, so I'm not going to talk about chord bar layouts, but it can be, those 3 can be changed and turned into other chords. There are chord bar layouts on the Daigle Auto Harp website in the how-to corner that show these different layouts of the Oscar Schmidt 21 chord instrument so that you can get into a more ergonomic layout that you can use, that will give you chords that you don't have, although you have to manufacture them or you have to purchase them in order to get them. So I'm going to go out playing this auto harp, and then I'm going to make another video about Oscar Schmidt auto harps, the advantages, the disadvantages, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Bye-bye. I'm Hal Weeks. Happy New Year.